Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know everybody's sleep. Told y'all in an earlier video, man, I be up, you know what I'm saying, and just be up. But I'm gonna tell you though, the Most High gave me a download this morning, and I was just sitting here receiving it, and I was like, man, I'm supposed to be putting this on video or something, because this is not for me, it's for the people, man. And I don't know really what the Most High is doing as of late, because I find myself a lot of times discussing about the role of like a man, you know, and I don't know, and I just have to be obedient and go with what he wants me to do. So I'm gonna read this definition here of what is effeminate person or effeminate. So this coming from the dictionary on social media. It says effeminate with reference to a man having characteristics and ways of behaving traditionally associated with a woman and regarded as inappropriate for a man. All right. So you have effeminate and you have feminine. The two are different, right? So what I've seen a lot of firsthand is there are a lot of I can never get effeminate, EFF, effeminate men, right? Now, in all the cases, pretty much, for the exception of the homosexual gay man, and some I'm gonna go back to that, but a lot of these men are heterosexual men. They are masculine in the sense of how they carry themselves, how they look into sports, dating women, like in that regard. But in regards to how a man or a boy is to be groomed, what the Bible says, train up a child while they're young, right? So they won't depart. How that male child is to be groomed to one day be the provider for his family, to be a leader, to be head of house. A lot of males, unfortunately, aren't getting this crucial training that they need in the house, right? And I've seen it coming from women and men. I'm gonna get into that. So as it pertains to the woman, you have a lot of women who are raising boys to be men. You have grandmothers and you have mothers. The father is not there for whatever reason. I don't know, jail, deceased, whatever the case, but he's absent. And by nature, a woman is not even her job to raise a boy to be a man. She really can't even do that. Yeah, the only woman that I can think of that would come close to being able to properly raise a male child, a boy, to be a man in the traditional sense, as far as a leader, a provider, head of house, would probably be a lesbian, a stud lesbian. I could see that. I could see that. I'm coming from a homosexual background myself, and for some reason, I I wasn't like the gay person that hung out with all these females. I preferred straight men as my friends because gay men all they wanted to do was wanted sex, and as far as hanging out with females, I enjoyed the company of hanging out with studs. That's why I enjoy it. But I've seen it where this one guy back in the day that I had dated, and he had told me that his grandmother told him, when you go out there into the world, you want to find a man with some money. And I just thought that was the weirdest thing because I'm like, that's something you tell your daughter, not something you tell a boy. Because you're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be providing for yourself first off, and then set up a situation where you can provide for your future wife and kids if you or children if you guys have any. But I was like, that ain't how it's supposed to be. So you have these women because and it's natural, and that I use the word natural. A woman is a nurturer to her husband, to her kid, children, what have you, and to their husband. Outside of being a nurturer, they are a helpmate. That's their role, and then take care of the house, stuff like that. This is how it naturally is now. Y'all can fuss and gripe, whatever. I'm just the natural way of things. A woman was never designed to be the head of the house. A woman was never designed to be, the provider. That's the man, right? But you have these women, especially these grandmamas, that's raising their sons, or excuse me, their grandsons, and they giving them the world, and they're not equipping them with the tools and necessary tools that they need to go out into life to be a provider for their family, to be a leader. Um, Therefore, they giving their sons, grandsons the world, whatever, and then they get out here into society and they look for a woman to give them the world. And in exchange, you have some women that aren't as strong mentally as others, but you have some men, they feel as though I don't even want to say it, but I gotta say it. This one particular guy back in the day, and I asked him, I said, man, so if you was ever in a relationship, what would you bring to the table? I asked him that. What would you bring to the table? He said it in such a way that he felt so good about himself. He said, I'm bringing dick. And I was appalled. I'm like, what? Okay, so you get in a relationship, the sex is good, but eventually that person's gonna get used to the sex, then what? You ain't bringing nothing to the relationship but that. But there are some women who are, they don't want to be lonely. They want a man with them, and they will what? They will settle just for that. And in return, they'll provide everything for that man. I remember talking to my brother one day, back in the day, and he was talking to me about one of his friends, Anthony. And he was like, and I'm just listening to him like, what? Yeah, man, Anthony, you know what I'm saying? I tried to hook him up with this girl, and she was a good fit, man. She already had a car. She had her own place. She had this, she had that. She was getting, she was getting government assistance, da, 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 da. And I'm like, what? You saying that like the woman is set up in a way where this man could just walk on in and she could take care of him. That ain't how it's supposed to be. But you have men, I'm gonna get to the homosexual men, but heterosexual men that they out here looking for a woman to provide for them. The woman is buying all their clothes. The woman is paying the mortgage. The woman is doing everything. She basically leading the household. He really is not her husband. He is her oldest child. I know some people that it may hit them. They don't want to hear this. But just look, examine your own life and look. I seen it. In my own family, I remember living in Georgia with my grandmother, and she did not want to accept money from me. I was probably 18 or 19. And I'm like, I can't just be staying here. You my grandma, shit. You my grandson. I don't expect you to pay the rent. So I would buy grocery. If I'm out, I call grandma. You need what you need. You need this. You need that. You need something. Man, my grandma. I miss my grandmama. But three things you could buy my grandmama and you would make her day: a Coca-Cola, some scratch offs, and some snuff. Man, you done made my grandmama day. Don't start crying, David. But you would make her day when you get her that. But anyway, she would not accept money from me, like, rent, whatever. So I just buy grocery. That mean I would buy grocery, like house full of grocery. Take her to the grocery store, just buy it myself. I had to do something. But as far as my younger cousins that was living there, man. And some of them was by default. Like two of my cousins, their mom and dad died when they was kids, so my grandmother raised them. Then you had two more of my male cousins. That was crazy because their mama had married to a man who had children, right? And this would have been a perfect fit because them two boys needed a male person in their life like that. But they didn't want to stay there because he's the disciplinary person, which as a man that's his role anyway. Them boys didn't want that, so she let them just, okay then, since y'all don't want that, y'all can stay with my mom. And I just thought that was the wrong thing. Nah, they need that male figure in their life, you know. But you over there with your new husband raising his two children, it's a girl and a boy. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of men out here. And then the gay men, there's gay men that's out here looking for a man to take care of them too. I'm like, what? Man, it's not supposed to be like that. Now one thing I can say a couple of things, but my dad, he was on the money with that. Boy, when I started working at 15, he said, I ain't giving you a man now. What? I don't want to give you no money. You a man. And when I was 15, I had to accept what he said, even though I didn't like it, because my three teenage sisters, two of them who was working at the time just like I was, he still gave them money, still gave them allowances, still gave them money to get to school, lunch money, and he just cut me clean off. But I thank him for that. I thank him for that. And man, and I know it's unfortunate that a lot of the families where it's just the woman, but women, I mean, you can't be giving these boys, teenagers, the stars, the moon, the sun, all this, right? And you not instilling in them. You probably don't even know how to instill how to be a man because you're not even a man. And then they get out here and they expect that. They expect a woman to give them all that. The gay ones expect the man to give them all that. And I'm like, what? Man. But that's all I had to say, man. Just it's sad though. It's a sad situation. And I know some of them by design, the men in jail, what have you. But even if the man if the man is out of jail, right? And he's not with his baby mom, whatever, it's very important that that man is involved in his children's life. And his daughter's life too, because she need her dad as well. She does. But it's so crucial that he's involved in that boy's life. It's so crucial. I thought it was the weirdest thing, man. My brother got a son. He's a teen. That boy, his son is 16 now, I think. And he broke up with his baby mama while she was pregnant with the boy. And I remember after she had the baby, my mom was like, Jason, you know what I'm saying, because she hadn't filed for child support on him as of yet. Go there, buy some Pampers, get some milk, do this, do that. Because my mama been down there. She got 4 children. Well, 6 with my other sisters. But he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to buy no Pampers. He didn't want to do nothing for that boy. I don't know. It's like he was mad at his ex-girlfriend and he was taking it out on his son. So eventually, guess what she did? She put his behind on child support. Now he really mad at her now. And then as the years went on, it's like he was taking it out on his son. If it wasn't for our mama, I wouldn't even know my nephew if it went for my mama. It's like my brother didn't want nothing to do with his son. And you could look at his son, all he wanted was the daddy to love him. And I found that so ironic because my dad and my brother, they were best friends. He loved his daddy, our daddy. But you're not loving on your son. Now how my dad, you see how I talked about how my dad was like, you're a man now, I ain't giving you no money, all that. My dad failed my brother because it's my belief that my dad felt as though he failed me because me coming up, as a gay man, homosexual, and all that, and he kind of dissing himself a lot. I mean, he did this, that, he tolerated me in the house, but he didn't love on me. He dissed himself, but it was as if he tried to make up for that with his other son, my brother, who's 12 years younger. So he gave him the world. My dad, my brother was drinking, started drinking 14, 13 years old, smoking weed. My daddy was providing it for him. When my brother had his son, is my understanding, when he was behind on the child support, my dad paid my brother's child support. Like, it's like he was looking for a friend in his son. In my mind, that comes when your son becomes an adult. The relationship changed. Now y'all can be you father son, but your son is a grown man. Y'all can be more friends. But as a child, it ain't your job to be his friend. I ain't your friend. No, you his daddy, you his father. You to train him up. And he failed my brother in that regards. Because my brother going out looking for somebody. He's not a gay person, so he's a heterosexual. So he's looking for a woman to take care of him, provide for him. It's almost I want to say he's a narcissist. And I've studied narcissists. Our mom is a narcissist, but he put these different women on the shelf. That's what a narcissist do. They don't really break up with you. Once this one, they can't get the supply from this one. They go to the shelf, pull another one out. Go back to the old one. That one, put her back on the shelf. Go back to this one. It's like he has a rotation of women that he go through, man. And like one of our sisters who deceased, she was like, she's seen it too. And she said, I guess the sex must be good or something, because why these women keep bringing them back in only to take care of them and da da da. My dad, it's his fault with that one, because he took care of my brother like that. He didn't, wasn't like, you a man now and you got to, paying the child support, getting the money, buying them cigarettes, buying them liquor, buying them weed, da, 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 just everything. I remember having a conversation with both of them separately during one of my visits, the same visit. I was like, Dad, I said, Jason got friends. You shouldn't be, drinking and knowing all this with Jason. I think my brother was like 15 at the time. I said, no, that ain't your role right now. And he was like, wow, I'd rather him do it with me in the house than out in the street. It's like it fell on deaf ears what I was saying. Then I went to my brother, said, Jay, man, I'm not trying to condone. I'm not trying to sit here and say you ain't supposed to be doing this and the third. Especially when my dad is allowing it. Who am I I'm visiting for 4 or 5 days and gonna tell him he can't do this and that. But I said, you shouldn't be doing that with daddy. Like, you got friends, like don't do that with daddy. Don't be drinking and smoking all this, especially at 15. I can see you a grown up, but you doing all this with that ain't. Fell on deaf ears too, man. But I want to say after our dad passed, me and my brother did have a brief discussion about that, and he did say that, like, as far as daddy failing him in that regards, because his daddy spoiled him. He mentioned it, and he did. So y'all, man, stop spoiling these boys. These okay, I guess when they little, but when they become like adolescents and teenagers, no, because they become an adult, and then you do all this spoiling, then they become 18, 21, boom, magic. You want them to be a man. You want you all the characteristics they supposed to have as a provider, a leader, all this. They're supposed to magically have it once they turn 18, 21, when it was not instilled in them as a child. Back to train up a child while they're young. All right. I love y'all. I need y'all to step up, man. And as for the single mothers that got boys, all I can say is if you got brothers, uncles, I don't know, get them involved some kind of way, but man, it's crazy because I mean I woke up this morning and that thing was just on me so heavy. And it was in my mind like, Negro, you ain't gonna put this on social media. Like, I'm giving you all this stuff and I want the people to hear it. I'm like, man, Lord, I'm woke, but I'm not woke. I'm chilling, laying in the bed, in the sofa. All right. Y'all know how I do. Look, I ain't even sleeping no more. It's too early to eat breakfast. Go get some coffee. Y'all have a good day on this non-Sabbath day. All right. Love y'all. Bye.